The truck was actually coming from Ring Road. It missed a step. So as it was trying to gather itself, it fell.
What we are witnessing these days, it is something we can no longer understand.
They should stop telling us and promising us all those promises are fake, giving us this sense of promises are fake. We don't want it anymore.
Good evening and thank you for joining us on BTV Major News at 6. My name is Zainab Mohammed and now the news in details. Edo State Governor Senator Mondo Peholo has commended road contractors delivering quality jobs across Edo South Senatorial District, while warning firms lagging behind to set up or risk losing their contracts. The governor gave the commendation during an inspection tour of ongoing road construction projects in Edo South as part of his administration's push to ensure timely delivery and value for public funds. BTV News Best Orator has details.
Governor Monday Okwebolo said the inspection was necessary to separate serious contractors from those failing to meet agreed standards and timelines. The governor visited the Church Road and Upper Ikenwa Road and expressed dissatisfaction with the contractor handling the road project and made observations to the contractor on the need to meet with specifications and said that by the time he returns there and nothing has improved as expected, the contract will be revoked.
We've gone around several places. We were at Church Road. We're not too happy with the contractor there. So our next visit, by the time we get there again and nothing is happening the way we want it, we can revoke that job. We have gone to other places. Everything is going on well.
The governor, however, expressed satisfaction with work quality at other project sites, praising contractors who have shown commitment and professionalism. The governor commended the contractor handling the job at Ogege, saying they're doing a very good job, just as he commended the contractor handling the Sapele Road project. Governor Okwebolo stressed that his administration will not tolerate unnecessary delays, especially with the rainy season fast approaching, noting that road infrastructure remains a top priority. Linking the projects to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's Renewed Hope agenda, the governor said road construction is one of the most visible ways to restore public confidence in governance.
I'm also very much impressed with the contractors, EBC, handling this Sapele Road. They're also doing a very good job. So we'll continue to monitor and see how things are going on this road. We won't waste time because there's no time. The rainy season is almost here. We must work in line with Mr. President's agenda, the new hope for the country. And the only way we can bring about the new hope is about the construction of roads that we are doing. That is the only way that we can let our people know that they voted for us and we still need them to continue to vote for us. So this is what we are doing, and for me, I'm impressed with what I've seen now.
The project inspected include the 1.4-kilometer charismatic Church Road off Ikenwa Road being handled by Place of Peace Investment Limited, the old Sapele Road linking Egypt, Ogobi and Ogege communities executed by Rotec Nigeria Limited, Ogege Road off Sapele Road handled by Brass Engineering and Construction Nigeria Limited, and the Sapele Road bypass. Residents of the benefiting communities trooped out in large numbers during the inspection, openly praising the governor for what they described as visible and impactful developments.
Well, we all like us, you'll be so. He tried for us. But now go help.
We want get road now. Before now, it's water now we day. As the young God they do this road now, everybody they happy with their job.
Yes, for years we don't suffer this road. Catholic charismatic road, Upper Ikenwa, don't take. We pray, may God empower make he help us as he don dey do at the go. May God give am more power, more knowledge, more wisdom.
Governor Okpebholo was accompanied on the tour by the APC Deputy Chairman in the state, Honorable Sylvester Egbobo, and other senior government functionaries. Best Orator reporting for BTV News.
In a move to strengthen accountability and improve learning outcomes, the Edo State Ministry of Education has unveiled the 2026 work plan and calendar of the Directorate of Educational Quality and Accountability at its first official meeting of the year. The meeting held at the Ministry of Education office in Iyaro brought together Chief Inspectors of Education, directors, field officers, and other key stakeholders in the education sector. The report. Kicking off the year with strategic focus, the Directorate of Education Quality Assurance 2026 Work Plan and Calendar were presented by Dr. Ame Obemudia, Director General of Directorate of Education Quality Assurance, to Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education, Mrs. Edith Ebomoyi, signaling a renewed drive to strengthen professionalism, accountability, and quality assurance in Edo State schools. The plan and calendar are designed to align DEQA's activity with Governor Monday Okpebholo's Shine agenda, ensuring that every initiative contributes to tangible improvements to teaching, learning, and school management.
Our service delivery will be improved, our human capacity building will be developed, our institutional strengthening, which are part of us in Subeb and SSCB and Beetv. And then we have the new technology, you have the digital technology coming up for the schools, and then you have excellence, educational excellence that will continue. So that's our own Shine agenda that we have aligned with the governor's Shine agenda. If you don't mind, CIEs come around.
Yes, we're happy 2026.
Addressing participants in her welcome address, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education, Mrs. Edith Ebomoyi, commended education inspectors for their commitments and sacrifices, describing them as critical drivers of quality assurance across schools in the state. She urged officers to approach school inspection as a tool for improvement rather than fault-finding, emphasizing professionalism, integrity, collaboration, and respect for constituted authority. Mrs. Ebomoyi emphasized that the calendar is a key tool for planning, coordination, monitoring, and accountability, which helps improve service delivery and boost education standards statewide.
Yes, I wrote here, I said, don't forget that inspection is all about improvement. We don't expect you to go to your various local government areas and be fault finders. I hope you know that's not what you're going to do on the field. We are all in this business together. Each school has its peculiar challenges. Each school. So it's for you to find out, to get those challenges. Do a report and let your boss know. Not for you to over-exert your authority as CIEs and just be looking for faults from principals. You are representatives of the Honorable Commissioner, custodians of what? Quality assurance at your various local government areas. Now we're in 2026. A good leader, what do? You reflect on how 2025 was and see how you can improve this new year. Improve on your own administrative skills, improve on your relationship with your DG. Is that clear? And in no way should you be found wanting.
The session then moved into an interactive discussion on the 2026 plans presented by Dr. Ame Obemudia, with Chief Inspectors of Education, field officers contributing ideas and feedback. Key topics included school safety and addressing safety gaps, updates on the SSEB register and diaries, and discussions on staff welfare. The team also examined the monitoring instruments, particularly the level of school preparedness, which generated further contributions from the attendees. The session emphasized a drive for compliance across all schools, with measures and approval put in place to ensure effective implementation.
The classroom conducive to learning with possible testing. What we are doing here, we are saying that this raising skills, we are going to be changing it to either fair.
So we
are also expected that.
In separate interviews, Chief Inspectors of Education said the 2026 calendar places strong emphasis on school safety, resumption monitoring, routine inspections, compliance with government policies, and capacity building trainings for school principals. Also speaking, the Director General of the Directorate of Education Quality and Accountability, Dr. Ame Obemudia, said the 2026 agenda aligns with Governor Mondo Opebolo's Shine agenda, noting that quality education and safe learning environments remain non-negotiable in Edo State.
This year is for our service for service improvement, because the Shine agenda of our governor is very important. So we have keyed into that Shine agenda to improve our service delivery as implementation of policies to ensure that schools in Edo State comply with government policies and to ensure improvements in teaching and learning outcome, and also to improve the safety atmosphere of the schools. Any schools that need attention, the governor is ready to attend. So the staff, as you have seen today, this is the first meeting to energize them to ensure that going out to look out for the training, for the learning outcome, to ensure the compliance of government policies with whatever we are going to do as an agency.
To be using a tool prepared by DECA to monitor schools is on-point monitoring. When we go to schools, we are going to check for safety around the schools to be sure that the principals, teachers are ready for resumption, check the environment, their classrooms, to be so sure that there are no hazards around that will affect the children upon resumption.
For the 2026 calendar, we have resumption monitoring. Before that, we are going to carry out trainings for juniors, school principals and senior school principals, and that will take place on the 7th and 8th of January. So we had other activities like routine monitoring of schools.
The meeting saw CIEs, field officers and DEQA team contribute on school safety, welfare, monitoring and preparedness, while prayers were offered for Governor Mondo Opebolo, the Commissioner for Education, and the education sector. With the 2026 DEQA calendar unveiled, the Directorate reaffirmed its commitment to strengthening standards, accountability, and learning outcomes in Edo State schools, fully aligned with Governor Mondo Opebolo's Shine agenda. Zainab Mohammed reporting for Beetv News. Residents and motorists plying Upper Owina Road off Ekenwa Road in Benin City have appealed to the Edo State government to urgently complete the construction of the road before the rainy season sets in. Beetv News Osaroge Agwebo reports that residents disclosed that construction work on the road has been halted for some time and appealed for the contractors to return to site and resume work. The report.
Upper Owina Road, which had been in a deplorable state for years, is now motorable to some extent due to recent construction work. However, the project has not been completed as the road is yet to be tied, making movement difficult for motorists and causing damage to vehicles. Speaking with Beetv News, motorists and residents in the area said they were happy when construction work commenced, but noted that after reaching a certain stage, the work stopped and has remained so ever since. They explained that the road is currently motorable because of the dry season, but expressed concern that the situation may worsen once the rainy season sets in.
I call for the road. This Upper Owina Wotubu road, because the road, what we see here, what we face daily, is too hectic. Every time we replace things for our vehicles, and the vehicles these days now to buy the parts is very expensive. We beg this our comrade government, make he assist us, not the one that they walk half daily.
They walk along if you need the other now, but they never come this side. Okay. They only do the work out, they stop out, none of it is stopped. Now, so just see and so we see. So some places they feel say maybe the ones that can pay for coming here. Or we wish they fit the road because the time they never do the road, we don't say the road bad, but that time I better pass for ourselves now because one, our body is scattered, our motor is scattered. There's no week we will work with that. If you look this one, you see, and that's so it just be.
They appeal to the Edo State government to urgently complete the road before the rainy season sets in to ensure it is motorable and accessible for business activities in the area.
Honorable Akpako Miracle, not the Akpako Miza. Make you come help us well. All right,
thank you very much, Daddy.
Thank you.
The update, but they beg the state government make all effort do the road. I would beg her for make all effort. Well, I don't say they try, they beg her.
Upper Owina Road is a major route linking several other roads in the area, serving as a key corridor for motorists, residents, and commercial activities. Osarugi Agwebo, reporting for Beetv News.
Street trading along the New Benin axis in Benin City appears to have reduced significantly in recent days, bringing a sense of relief to many residents and road users. Beetv News' Precious Abolahor reports that following previous interventions by authorities, many of the traders who once occupied the roadside have withdrawn, allowing for freer vehicular movements and safer pedestrian access. The report.
Roadside trading at New Benin Market, which once posed serious risks to both motorists and pedestrians, has significantly reduced. Recent observation shows a notable improvement in traffic flow and safety, suggesting that measures taken to curb the activities are beginning to yield results. Some residents expressed satisfaction with the developments, noting that the area now looks more orderly compared to the heavy congestion expressed during the festive period. They also commended the efforts of relevant agents and urged them to sustain the monument.
As every year just clearly like this and this same period like this, given I think we don't want to make every year for the whole top year, so I just like the work because
city like this, it is very dangerous for traders to be trading on the road. As you can see, more than half of the road has been occupied both by cars and both by traders and so on.
Spirit Beetv News, an official from the Oredo Road Safety Unit, stated that both vigilante and non-vigilante groups were mobilized to control traffic and ensure the smooth movement of vehicles, especially previously affected by roadside trading. They also call on the government to establish more mobile courts to enable them operate more effectively in enforcing traffic regulation and curbing roadside trading.
We get mobilization force. We get boys who use like clothes. All of us know once and make our way to take work like this. Only one person will do it. We join together. The already the state, the government, all of us have joined forces. All of the community from the HR to the banks. Make government set up the backup for us. Because right now, if we pursue them, as we come out, they will come back. In return, they'll see them. As we come, they'll still come back. But if we get the backup, like government, which also mobile court, if we one person give that to mobile court, the rest will get sense.
However, a few traders were still seen in some corners, prompting calls for continuous monitoring to ensure total compliance and long-term solution for affected traders. Precious Agbolahor reporting for Beetv News.
Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has said his administration is entering a decisive phase of governance focused on accelerating development and delivering projects that will direct impact on residents across the state. Sanwo-Olu made a statement on Sunday during the 26th Lagos State Annual Thanksgiving Service held at Tafawa Balewa Square, Lagos. He noted that the next phase of his administration would prioritize initiatives that improve the quality of life of Lagosians. According to the governor, the development drive will cut across key sectors such as transportation, agriculture, healthcare, energy, the environment, and infrastructure as the government intensifies efforts to achieve sustainable growth across the state.
A coastal highway, which made significant progress, allowing critical section to be open to commuters during this Christmas celebration. We believe this flagship project is already delivering sustainable benefits to the economy of our state and to countless local communities. We're deeply grateful to Mr. President for envisioning and initiating this and many projects, for his dedication that has helped secure the required investment in financing, for granting approval in several laudable projects in the state and in the country.
The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has paid a thank you visit to Ahoda West local government area of Beetv State as part of his engagement in the state. Speaking during the visit, Wike said he was in the area to express gratitude to the people for the overwhelming support given to him and President Bola Tinubu during the 2023 general elections. He commended residents for their loyalty and political commitment. The minister noted that Beetv State was once widely respected across the country for a strong political stand and quality governance. He, however, lamented that the state's image had declined over time due to what he described as poor leadership and bad governance.
To think about it, he has to complete his 8 years because he has shown Rivers State love. Who would ever believe in this world that a Rivers man will be a minister of the Federal Capital Territory? Who would ever believe that? And by the grace of God, we are doing very well. You can see that Rivers State is respected because of what we are doing in the Federal Capital Territory.
At least 42 people have been killed and several others adopted following coordinated attacks on communities in Agwara and Bogu local government areas of Niger State. Local sources said 37 people were killed in Dasan Daji near Papiri, while 5 others lost their lives in Kima village during the attacks. Several residents were reportedly adopted, including children believed to be pupils and students of St. Mary's Catholic Primary and Secondary School, Papiri. The attack have left affected communities in fear, with many residents fleeing their homes. The Niger State Police Command has confirmed the incident. In a statement, the Police Public Relations Officer SP Wasiu Abiodun said the command received a distress call at about 9 p.m. on Saturday. He added that a joint security team has visited the affected areas and efforts are ongoing to rescue the adopted victims, assuring that further updates will be communicated. The Kebbi State government has clarified that the directive on the reopening of schools applies only to public and private schools located within cities and major towns across the state. The Commissioner for Basic and Secondary Education, Halima Muhammad, says schools situated on the outskirts of towns as well as those in remote and rural communities are excluded from the January 5th, 2026 resumption date, pending further directives from the state government. She explained that the clarification was necessary to address public concerns and prevent misinformation surrounding the school reopening announcements.
Kebbi State, that the schools should be opened. The resumption date for our schools is 5th January 2026. So by this notice, all the schools in the state that are situated in the major cities of the state should resume.
The former presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress, Dumebi Kachiku, has appealed to President Bola Tinubu to suspend the implementation of the proposed tax reforms, warning that introducing additional tax burdens at the beginning of 2026 will worsen the hardship faced by Nigerians. Kachiku described the country's prevailing socio-economic situation as dire, saying the severity of the hardship has pushed many citizens to question the direction of the current administration. He argued that further taxation at the time would place more pressure on already struggling households. While acknowledging that President Tinubu inherited a fragile economy upon assuming office, the former ADC flag bearer criticized the policy direction adopted so far. He maintained that the measures introduced by the administration have aggravated rather than alleviated the suffering of ordinary Nigerians.
We understand the need for tax reforms, but an already overburdened populace can't afford any more taxation, especially when they mostly believe the government does nothing meaningful with its current revenues. This tax reform will further erode the ranks of the Nigerian middle class, who have resorted to paying exorbitant fees for quality education, healthcare, and other social services because of our failed public institutions. My fear is that if implemented as promised by our president, the tax reforms will instigate a crisis of unprecedented proportions in our nation, which no one can afford, especially with our current security issues.
Families across Kebbi State welcomed the new year with relief following the donation of 1,200 bags of 25 kg rice to support vulnerable households in the state. The donation was carried out by the Asiwaju for All movement as part of efforts to provide assistance to needy families. Speaking during the presentation, the chairman of the group said the food items were donated on behalf of President Bola Tinubu in collaboration with the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu. He explained that the initiative was aimed at easing the burden on Christian families and enabling them to celebrate the new year with dignity. The Kebbi State coordinator of the forum and secretary of the Christian Association of Nigeria, alongside the state chairman, formally received the items on behalf of the Christian community, expressing appreciation for the gesture.
That you will also be very grateful to Her Excellency for this remarkable assistance. So as they give me, and I will take it and do what they ask me to do, I will try and do what is the best to do to our people for what our leaders have done to us. I'm very grateful. Thank you very much. God bless them. God bless them.
The first batch of the Delta State recruits for the Nigerian Army has departed for the training depot in Zaria, Kaduna State to begin their mandatory military training. The recruits, who are not yet regular soldiers, were selected through a state recruitment exercise. According to Dr. Fred Ogenesive, Director General of the Delta State Orientation and Communication Bureau, a total of 135 candidates, 118 males and 17 females, successfully emerged from the exercise. He stated that 50 recruits departed initially, while the remaining candidates will be deployed in 2 additional batches later in the week to training centers in Oshobu and Jaji. The Delta State government has urged the recruits to serve as ambassadors of the state, demonstrating discipline, integrity, and responsibility throughout the 6-month training period. Ogenesive also highlighted that sustained sensitization campaigns over the past 3 years have resulted in over 3,000 Delta State youths being enlisted or commissioned into the armed forces, attributing the success to the commitment of Governor Sharif. The recruits are expected to complete their training by July 2026. We'll be going on a short break. Do stay with us.
Done but not forgotten.
Our dearly beloved mommy and matriarch, late Madam Gift Soe Irabo. Mommy, it's been 8 years since you left us in this sinful world. And just like a burnt down library, our world crashed when death took you away from us. As our mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, sister, aunt, and mother-in-law, we will not forget in a hurry the great lessons you taught us, especially your prayerful lifestyle that brought us closer to God. We remember your undying love, care, and passion for God and man. The entire family of Yorama Erabo of Ogo Town in Orion local government area of Edo State cordially invites the public to the 8 years remembrance of their daughter, mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother, Madam Gift Soe Erabo. Date January 13, 2026. Venue Rose Garden Event Center, number 22, Giwa Amu Street, off Airport Road, GRA, Benin City. Time 12 p.m. prompt. Mommy, continue to rest until we meet to part no more. We love you dearly. Signed, Ambassador Ogene Osaumese JP for the family.
Now to the world of business. CIG Motors Limited has terminated the appointment of its executive director, Jubril Arogundade, over allegations of financial misappropriation and abuse of authority. The company said the decision followed a period of suspension and a comprehensive internal investigation into his conduct while in office. The report.
In a statement issued on Sunday, the automobile firm disclosed that the findings of the internal review revealed actions that fell below its governance, compliance, and ethical standards. Based on the gravity of the issues uncovered, management approved the immediate termination of Arugude's appointment. CIG Motors also confirmed that aspects of the investigation involving alleged financial impropriety and being referred to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission for further investigation. The company stated that it is cooperating fully with law enforcement authorities, reiterating its zero-tolerance stance on financial misconduct and its commitment to protecting institutional integrity and stakeholders' interests. How 712 billion naira upgrades others-shape aviation in 2025. Nigeria's aviation industry recorded mixed fortunes in 2025, with notable gains overshadowed by persistent challenges that drew widespread criticism from stakeholders. The sector grappled with rising airfares, weak infrastructure, regulatory bottlenecks, limited access to affordable financing, and disputes arising from concession arrangements. Airline operators, particularly domestic carriers, attributed the surge in airfares to these constraints, warning that air travel was increasingly becoming unaffordable for the average Nigerian. Throughout the year, the industry frequently made headlines for negative developments, including institutional inefficiencies and structural weaknesses. The sector was also marked by repeated incidents of airport disruptions linked to violence and passenger misconduct. High-profile cases involve Fuji musician Wasiu Ayinde, popularly known as Kwamwan, a confrontation involving Edo North Senatorial District Senator Adams Oshomole, and a widely reported altercation between a passenger, Comfort Emerson, and an Ibom Air cabin crew member, which escalated into a major airport incident. The National Emergency Management Agency has urged communities prone to flooding to adopt improved environmental practices and disaster risk reduction measures as part of a new national response strategy. The agency said prevention and preparedness must guide responses to recurring climate-related disaster. The NEMA Director General Zubaida Umar gave the charge while distributing relief materials to flood victims in Ogoja and Yala local government areas of Cross River State. Represented by the Head of Relief and Rehabilitation at the Uyo Operations Office, Victor Akpankpam, she emphasized the importance of responsible waste disposal, drainage maintenance, and early warning systems in reducing flood-related losses. Umar sympathized with affected residents, explaining that the intervention was aimed at cushioning the impacts of floods recorded earlier in the year and supporting recovering efforts. Beneficiaries were seen leaving distribution centers with food items and other relief materials, expressing relief as assistance reached households affected by displacements and disrupted livelihoods. Temitope Oluwafemi reporting for BTV News.
Manchester United have sacked manager Ruben Amorim, with Darren Fletcher set to take temporary charge for Wednesday's Premier League clash against Burnley. Amorim, who had been in charge for 14 months, reportedly clashed with club officials over transfer backing and expressed frustration at not being fully supported in his role. Following a 1-1 draw with Leeds on Sunday, he hinted he was ready to leave at the end of his contract in 18 months, describing himself as wanting to work as a manager, not the coach. United said the decision to part ways was made reluctantly, with the club sitting 6th in the Premier League. Amorim's coach staff have also left, and sources told BBC Sports the club felt there had been insufficient progress this season. Amorim won 25 of 63 games during his 14-month tenure, the shortest for a permanent United manager, said David Moyes in 2014. Fletcher, the club's under-18 head coach and former technical director, will lead the team temporarily and is expected to hold a press conference ahead of the Burnley game. Thank you for joining us on BTV Major News at 6. My name remains Zainab Mohammed. Have a lovely night.